Hello. How you doing? Hey everyone. How's it going? Right, we are here because tomorrow at 8 a.m. UK time, our new documentary film about our reorchestrated stuff goes live on Amazon Prime. Hey everyone, how's it going? Right, I can't do this by myself because it's just too awkward and I'm too bad at it. Let's see if how is everyone? How are you guys doing? What has been going on? Oh, look who it is!
Oh, hey guys.
Hello, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good. We're still in lockdown though.
I know,
So
I know. And weird, we're not. This is not a distraction tactics, which is kind of weird.
No, I know. Although, I mean, it should hopefully be quite a nice distraction for people and a nice little dip into what we've been cooking up over the last. It's been a few
Dude.
years.
Yeah, it's been bloody years. So, for anyone who doesn't know or care, we have been lucky enough to work with a bunch of friends and very talented people to make a feature-length, full film documentary with Amazon Music that comes out on Amazon Prime tomorrow. And yeah, it's I guess it's a combination of. It was about ReOrchestrated, the gigs that we did, the tours that we did. And we were lucky enough to do these shows and to do this project that was basically a kind of passion project of ours that no one asked for. And in fact, most of the people we worked with were like, why the fuck are you doing that? That's a mad thing to do. But it just felt great. And it was a thing that we did and that we loved. And I think the shows were relatively small and we're in these like amazing concert halls and stuff and churches and the Royal Albert Hall and the El Philharmonie, and we got to work with orchestras and classical musicians, and it was, I don't know, I guess we loved the shows, but then felt like having documented it a bunch, we sort of ended up working with Amazon to make this film and try and talk about the process of trying to do something unexpected and do something different. And yeah, so I guess I'm just going to keep talking, but then we can talk about it more.
Yeah, I mean,
I had like a couple of glasses of wine, and now I'm probably chatting quite a lot. Yeah, I guess Tom, our good friend, who like used to be your flatmate and was a film student when we first started the band. So he's kind of it started as a film project for his film school, but ever since then he's kind of come on the road with us, made a little documentary before, made kind of YouTube videos, and has filmed lots of stuff. So he's sort of had, I guess, access to us, and we never really knew what it was for, but I guess now it's a thing. And then we got to work with Toby, who sort of co-directed it with Tom, and Josh, who produced it, and I guess basically get some people, work with people who haven't been involved and who could look at everything that we did and think, how can this be interesting for people who don't know anything about us or don't care about us necessarily, but just as a kind of outside story of creativity. And I guess us as a band starting off at the very beginning, not really knowing what was going to happen and not really having big ambitions, and then suddenly finding ourselves in this place where it's our whole life and it's, we're traveling all the time and playing shows and lucky enough to do that, but kind of completely overwhelmed by it. And then how that led to ReOrchestrated. So that's I'm nervous and haven't done an Instagram live in a while. I'm just going to talk straight without any punctuation. Summary of the film. We were told to not really spoil it or give too much away, but just to get people excited. So Kyle, no pressure. Get people excited.
No, I think what I really like about like a film being made of it is that kind of us going from like a kind of normal live show and then deciding to go more reorchestrated. Reorchestrated is kind of better fitted to a more generally smaller and more intimate setting, which was wonderful to do that kind of style. However, it meant that not a lot of people were able to really see it and were able to kind of grasp like kind of what we were trying to get from it. And that's what this film is enabling us to do, is like is allowing people to look in on that kind of quite intimate setting that we wanted to kind of crack on with. And now there's a bloody film about it.
I know, which is mad. I
So
feel
the least
completely,
intimate you can
completely.
imagine.
I mean, it's a weird thing where it feels completely inappropriate, and we feel totally unworthy of there being a film. But we also felt mega passionate about the reorchestrated shows and really wanted as many people to see them. And I think the thing for me that's so amazing about those gigs is it's not really about us. It's about, I guess, like our songs being like a vessel to show off loads of incredible like classical musicians and singers, and it's about collaborating, and it's about Johnny, who did the arrangements. Johnny, some of you might know, he toured with us for years playing trumpet when we did the Wild World album, and he's also, it turns out he's also just a fucking incredible scoring musical genius. And so he, at all of these shows, he rewrote all of our songs from the ground up and flipped them on their heads. And I don't know, I think it felt really exciting. Like, I obviously get quite nervous and feel quite weird being on stage, and so to be part of something bigger where, yes, it was kind of about Bastille music, but it was also so much about showing off like these amazing singers and like showing the songs in a different light. And yeah, they just felt really special. I think we always felt like it would be nice to celebrate that. But yeah, do you want to talk a bit about, so Tom and Josh and Toby kind of sat us down before we did the interviews for the film, and kind of, I don't know, I guess they pushed us to, they kind of put it to us that we are quite open people, but then when it comes to being in interviews and you know, and being in public, I guess we kind of say the same things and we kind of clam up a bit because, you know, we're not particularly public people. So I don't know, I guess Tom, as our mate, was like, in order for this to be different and interesting and worthwhile, and in order for it to justify itself, like, can you guys just be a bit more honest and open than you normally are, and kind of reveal a bit more about your thought process and how it's affected you being in a band all this time? And I guess
And we did.
we did. Yeah, it felt fucking weird, but at the same time, Tom was like, "Look, guys, make my job easier for me, like, please." And he appealed to our people pleasing yes men side, that, you know, when you just want to help a mate out. So I guess we did.
But like, it's what was interesting as well. It was almost like a crime had committed, and each of the members got separated, and we weren't allowed to be with each other. And we went in on different days, so they could keep us separate. And be like, no, honestly, guys, Kyle, honestly, the other ones really wore their heart on their sleeve. And that last one, there were tears, all that nonsense, just trying to egg me on. Like, okay, I can get emotional, Army. Yeah, all right.
Basically,
and then shut us down.
The bastards manipulated the shit out of us, and it worked.
And here it is. Here's the proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I guess you're so right. We definitely, you know, when it's on our own terms, we feel more comfortable just being like a bit more honest. But I don't know. And then interviews, it's just easier to be silly rather than genuine. And in this one, we were. It was really genuine. A lot of the stuff. Well, no, a lot of the stuff. That's what an idiot. All the stuff I was saying was what I felt, and how I felt kind of at the time, and just going through, just sort of going through the process, and it's just put together really well. And you know, everyone dips in, says their sort of, and says things, and it's from like a whole span of people that we've worked with. Not only people on stage, people off stage, people like who have been with us from sort of day zero, and it's just such a nice mix of people.
It is weird, I guess, as well. We don't, like, I guess as a band and as mates, we don't ever really like sit around and reminisce or like pat ourselves on the back, or like, obviously we'll like acknowledge stuff that happens and we'll remember funny things and stupid shit we've done, but we don't ever sit around being like, oh man, remember that tour, like blah, blah. Like, we just don't, like it. And I guess when we watched the preview of this film at the end of last year, or it was like late summer, back when life was a little bit more open than it is now.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we'd seen each other in ages, and we sat and watched the first cut of the film in a screening room in central London, and we all had to sit miles apart in masks watching this thing.
Yeah.
So weird, basically it was a bit like Clockwork Orange, having our eyes peeled back and being forced to acknowledge everything we've done over the last, like 8-10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
some of that footage is like from like from past generations. We're like just looking at ourselves, like it seems like 30 years back.
I know.
And
I
like,
know. I
the
think it's not.
hairstyles.
I think we've been really fortunate to have very kind of busy time since we put out our first album, and I think because of that, it's like a weird elastic version of time where it's felt like 3 minutes, but also we've been lucky enough to pack in quite a lot of stuff. So it was quite weird. I think also combined with the fact that it was during the lockdown and touring has, temporarily, I hope, disappeared, and life has shrunk, and all the kind of weirdness and fears and anxieties and trauma and isolation of the last year, of then sort of one of the only things we got to do was go and watch this film that kind of, I guess, like forced us to have a look back at all the stuff we've done. Was just really weird. Like added for me, added to the weirdness of it. So we've been told to not spoil anything.
I know. I'm finding it really hard to talk about it and not ruin and not basically get told off when we finished that I've said something I shouldn't. But so it comes out tomorrow. Can I say that it comes out 8 a.m.? I have said it.
There you go. For all those people who have nothing to do from 8 a.m. onwards,
UK time.
UK time. You can get it in, slip it in like before school, or on a break, or like on your lunch break at work, or maybe in your fake non-existent commute to work that you might pretend you do in the morning to make life feel like it's back in the old times. Yeah, you can watch it on your coffee break. You can put it in little episodes. I don't know. We've never had a film out on Amazon Prime before, so I don't really know.
I don't know how that works.
But yeah, it's so weird. We've sort of been. This has been kind of percolating away for a while. Coop, our wonderful sound guy, who does all our live mixes, he's done some mixes of a bunch of the songs. Like, we try to include as much music as possible without making it like it's more of a story about creativity than it is just a concert film. But yeah, I think I don't know. I hope it's interesting to people who don't give a fuck about the band, because it's just really honest and is like, this is what happens when four guys who made songs in a bedroom and like drove up and down the country in a car, sleeping on floors, managed to make a job out of it, and then want to kind of prove things to themselves and to other people. Yeah.
That was the thing, because it was also, that was definitely an element of it, was kind of, this is something we want to do, and it's like, well, yeah, but like, I guess you're kind of weirdly at the level where, I don't know, like you possibly have the capacity. Like, obviously it could all go to shit, but do you want to give it a go? And we were like, well, yeah, it's good. I think it'll be really good. And now, I mean, who knows if it is? We'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait. I'm really interested to know what people think. But going back to what you said before, I think it's the best thing is it's just when we did the shows, we put so much work into them. Johnny put so much work into them. All the amazing musicians put so much work in, and like obviously our teams, our managers, our crew, everyone put so much work into making these shows special. And I think they felt more special to us than anything we've ever done, because it was a risk and it was so different. And every single show we did, and this isn't really in the film, but like each time we did one, we only really had one day to rehearse and prepare. So every time there was this like, is it going to happen? Is it not? Like, is it going to completely fall apart?
Such a panic,
every time there was that kind of risk to it. And every time, even if they were like a bit ropey, we still kind of just pulled it off. So it had that kind of weird summer camp, everyone pulling together for the final show kind of vibe to it, which sort of added a whole extra layer of tension.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, because they were in these concert halls, they were a fair amount smaller than like some of the shows we've been lucky enough to play. And I guess this has been such a nice opportunity to get to share it with people that couldn't make the shows or didn't want to come, or like, couldn't come, or, whatever. So yeah, I hope people like it. I really hope they do. And watch it if you can tomorrow or whenever. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it really. And should we answer some questions?
Yes. Have you got any good ones?
I don't know. Let's have a look down the bottom. Anyone?
What's that?
So it's on. So in terms of being able to watch it, I see a bunch of people say they don't have Amazon Prime. It's, as far as I'm aware, it's like on the free bit. So if you have Amazon Prime, or perhaps like a temporary trial account, you can maybe watch it quite easily. I think we tried to make it as accessible as possible. The reason we worked with Amazon is because Amazon Music have been really supportive with ReOrchestrated. You know, we did a version of Million Pieces at Abbey Road with them, and they have, you know, they basically helped produce and fund the film. And yeah, so that's why it's there. And yeah, we want as many people as possible to see it. I'm also completely mortified that it exists because I guess I haven't thought about the fact it's like it's almost like having an album out because it's just quite. I guess it's quite like raw and open compared to how we normally are.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite part of the film? Says Rena77.
We
I'd say my favorite bit of the film, without giving anything away, is some of the performances, like, and not the bits with us in. There's a particular bit that Bim sings that gives me chills every time I hear it, and then there's a version of one song that we did that's totally different from the album version with a particular singer, and he just has the most insane voice. And I think that, for me, those bits are incredible. Also, Senab, who arranged a lot of the vocal parts and is the sort of choir conductor for a bunch of the shows, she's just fucking hilarious, and I love all her bits. What about you, man? Without spoiling too much, what's your favourite?
Oh, it's so tough. It was just really nice because the interview wasn't done like as a group. Hearing each person's perspective on it, I guess, because like as you said, we didn't sit down and kind of like we didn't ever sat down as a group and go, so how did you feel about this tour or that last performance? We never really do that. And so to actually hear like each member of the band and also people who weren't in the band but work with us, just like being really genuinely open and honest about what they thought about the project and how they thought it would go and that kind of stuff. It was really nice to kind of just get their perspective on it. And, you know, from people who like, you know, through management to like agents and stuff, and then to people in the band, just kind of, it was quite, just quite a mix of sort of like initial thoughts, which I loved.
I was just reading some comments while you were talking, Carl, because I have no interest in anything you have to say.
Thank you. Perfect.
And a bunch of people were slagging me off for talking too much and not letting you speak. And they're like, oh, poor Kyle. So sorry. I apologize. The people were also saying, how could you spoil a concert film? I guess the point is, for anyone that might want to watch it, it's like, it's not really a concert film. It's like sort of the story of our band from the very beginning. It's the story of like, stage fright, anxieties, imposter syndrome. It's the story of trying to pull off this weird orchestrated project that I guess isn't a normal thing for a band to do, particularly at where we're at. So yeah, like
it's the journey, man.
There's music in it, but it's not just a concert film. So I hope you guys like it. So John 05 just asked, how long is it? It's about an hour and 15 minutes, I think.
That's a nice length.
Yeah, it was gonna be like 45, and then there was just too much stuff. I mean, it's interesting watching it and seeing how much stuff just had to be left out. Like,
yeah,
even in terms of the ReOrchestrated story, like it misses out a lot of the detail. But it's, you know, it's kind of hard to choose. I guess it was interesting for us to kind of give over control to Tom from Crooked Cynics, and you know, and to Josh. And yeah, to sort of let them decide. Right, I'm back. Are you there?
Yeah. I think it was okay. I was still getting messages up.
Oh, that's good.
I was fine.
In fact, probably most people that were complaining about my fucking motor mouth were quite relieved to see me go. What I was saying was like, it was good to give control to Toby, Josh, and Midzi. Basically, let them make the film they wanted to make, and we just happened to be in it. So, like, I guess it was about relinquishing control a little bit as well, which I'm not amazing at. But
yeah. Well,
cool.
I mean, I guess it's less than 12 hours now till it comes out. So that's...
Cheers.
Cheers to that. It's really
Yeah,
exciting. Everyone, please let us know what you thought about it, but only if what you thought about it was that it's good.
yeah, yeah. Enjoy it. Tell us what you think, but only if it's incredibly positive.
Yeah.
What
Yes,
kind
yes,
of?
yes. Right. Well, I better go to bed, get tucked up, so I can wake up nice and
Get
early and
ready for
watch.
your 8 a.m. film premiere.
Yeah.
So I just saw someone ask if it's just sad or if there's happy. I think it's so someone that watched it that you know said that regardless of whether or not you know us or give a shit about the music, that there's something, I guess, kind of like uplifting and inspiring about it. Weird to say that about something we're involved in because I'm the most negative person in the world. But I think like it's actually fucking weird talking about it when it comes to ourselves. But like it's just mad what we've been allowed to do
Yeah.
and you know, and I think particularly given that like especially me and you, man, like we love being in a band. We feel so lucky, but we also feel like real intruder frauds at most of the time. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
nuts, especially and not just on stage at like a festival or our own shows, but in a classical concert hall with a 50-piece orchestra. Like you couldn't feel like more of a fraud. Well, I
No.
couldn't. I fucking tried.
No.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us for this little Instagram live. I hope you guys enjoy the film. It's on Amazon Prime tomorrow. Let us know what you think.
8
Kyle,
a.m.
8 a.m. I mean,
Watch it.
maybe wait till the evening and we can all watch it together or something. I don't know.
That'd be
But
nice.
thank you for joining us. And Kyle, any would you like to leave any parting thoughts before we go?
Just that, you know, recycle, and that's important. But yeah, I just let us know what you think about it, and I think it's gonna be a bit surprising. I think it's gonna surprise a lot of people because it's not, we've never done anything like this before, and in this way. So yeah, I'm just excited for it to come out.
So, see you soon.
Okay, dude.
Bye, dude.
Great
So
to see you,
nice,
mate.
man. I miss you.
Mission,
Take
babe.
care. Bye.